Hello, welcome. Welcome, all my Hobby Horse Club members. This is my Members Up video, show and tell of one of my hobbies. My first ever hobby and main hobby. Well, I say my first. Most likely playing games was my very first. Because I was playing games younger than I was reading books. But I have picked out, and I'm out of breath because I've been bending over picking them out of my shelves. So y'all bear with me. I have picked out several books. As y'all know, I've got boxes packed in the utility room in here. Most of them boxes is chock full of nothing but books. So I have a lot of books. On Bowie in our house, Mississippi, before we moved to Tennessee, before we moved here to Louisiana, I had what I called a little library. It was the smallest bedroom in the house. But Albert had built me floor-to-ceiling shelves on 2 of the walls. So then I had 2 free walls to put my desk and table and stuff like that against. Anyway, and they were full of books. They had some whatnots in them, but mostly books. Okay, so I've picked out a few. I'll show you my stack here that I got. I've got way more than this, and I'll have to later do like an update when we get moved and I get all my books unpacked and really show all of them to y'all. So I've got these right here. And this is, I don't even know if that's a fraction of my books. But anyway, so I have told y'all before, I've always been slow up here. I am not putting myself down. I am not joking. It's really a thing. My mama, you know, I couldn't learn well in school. Cried most of the time, didn't want to go to school, so stayed out. Failed several years. I'm just being honest. It's just a fact. It was my true life in school. I can't help it. Mama took me to the doctor, had me checked and assessed, and they said my brain was 2 years younger than my body. What I really was. So I've always been a little bit behind. Had to go to special education because of that. And so I did not really learn how to read really good and start reading books until I was 13 years old. Now, I was probably reading my little kid books, you know. And then there was a time, we lived on the coast in the brick house. And I'm thinking I remember Becca being married already. But it's when she would come to the house and visit us, I think. She always was reading a book. I don't necessarily know if it was the Nancy Drew books. Becca, if you remember, let me know. But she would read books. And my bedroom had 2 beds in it. It had like a full-size bed and then a twin-size bed. And so I can remember, Becca, let me know if you remember this. I remember her laying on one bed. Now, it was daytime, okay? Or early evening or something, maybe. You know, I don't really remember the exact time. But letting you know, it wasn't nighttime. We wasn't in the bed to go to sleep for the night. And the bed was made up. But she was laying in one, I was laying in the other. She had her book. I had me a book. It was a Nancy Drew book, what I had. She may have had the same kind, maybe why I had gotten the Nancy Drew book. But I knew Nancy Drew was good at mystery books, probably because of her reading them or whatever. Anyway, somehow I knew. She may not have even ever read those. I don't know. Anyways, just, it's kind of like what I'm remembering, you know. A lot of times you come to find out what you remember didn't really happen, and that very disappoints me. So anyway, I was 9 years old, okay? So like I said, I did not really learn how to read good and really start reading books good until I was 13. But because she was laying there reading, I wanted so bad to read and be able to read like her. So I got one of the Nancy Drew books and I was laying there and I would hold the book up like she was doing. I like them to gotta fix it. And I didn't know the words from nothing, okay? And I would lay there, but I would make my eyes go across the whole line of words, kind of slow like, so it would seem like I was really taking my time and reading. And every once in a while, I'd look over there at her, and she was laying there reading her book. And then I would come back, and I would look slowly through the line of words, and I'd look back over at her, you know. And that thrilled me to do that. I felt like, hey, I'm a big girl too. I'm laying here reading like Becky. And I wasn't reading, I didn't know the words, so I didn't know the story or nothing, you know. But anyway, so, like I said, I'm out of breath and hot. Okay, so, then years pass. We're now living on Bowie in Collins, Mississippi, me, my mama, and daddy. You know, Becca's married, Charlotte's married, out of the house. By this time, I had been on my own. Becca got married at 9, when I was 9. She didn't get married at 9. I was 9 when she got married. She was 16, though she was still too young. Anyway. And Charlotte had done been married, you know, so it was like I was the only child at home with Mom and Daddy. So we lived on Bowie. Daddy's job had him going out of town and being gone for a while, so it was mostly just me and Mom at home. And Mama Walker, she lived with us until she passed away. But Mama had her bedroom, I had my bedroom, Mama had her bedroom. And a lot of times I would sleep with Mama when Daddy was gone. Or just stay up late with her in her room until I got ready to go to bed. But Mama would be laying there, because see, she's a book reader too, and she would be laying on her bed, and she had a lamp on the wall over her head, and she had her book and was reading. So I would sit on the floor right beside her bed, on her side, and against the wall, she had like a big old arm wire chiffon dresser thing. So I was sitting between it and the bed, and then she had her nightstand up here by the wall. So my back was to the foot of the bed, so I was facing the head, not really the head, I would have had to sit cat-a-corner, you know. Sometimes I'd sit that way facing her nightstand. Sometimes I would turn and lean back against the chaperone, however you say that, facing the side of the bed and Mama. And she'd be reading her book, and I was reading Nancy Drew book. That is when I truly started learning and started reading books. And it was the mystery books. It was Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew was my very first book to start reading. Okay, I do not have a Nancy Drew book with me to show you. I have some. They're in the very bottom, in the very back. I have a row in front of them. There's 2 rows on top of them. The row in front of them has 1 row on top of it. I tried to get to it, I can't, so I'm going to have to show y'all that later. It was the hardback Nancy Drew books. And so I loved them. My first one to read was The Mystery of the Bungalow. I don't know if I'm saying the name exactly right, but of course it's a mystery, Nancy Drew. It was about a bungalow. She ended up finding a guy tied up in a bungalow that someone had kidnapped, and she went and got him free and all this kind of stuff. So that was my first book. So then, after starting to read the Nancy Drew books like that, we had books. They weren't really mine in the beginning. They kind of became mine. I got a pain right here now. They ended up being, they might have been Charlotte's. I know for sure they were Becca's. It was books called The Trixie Belden. Not Trixie Belden. No, because those were mine. I think I found them and started getting them. I'm getting ahead of myself. The Bobbsey Twins. Yes. So, we had some of them, and I started reading them then, and those were good. I loved those. Then I found the Trixie Belden mystery books. This is all little young, and Nancy is the oldest one of all of them. The Bobbsey Twins, I'm sure all of y'all have heard about that. It's 4 kids, 2 sets of twins, I believe, and they had this clubhouse, and they were detectives, and they solved little mysteries. Loved it. Trixie Belden is like the younger teenage years. She had a friend named Honey. They had like a little club, and they solved mysteries. Fun. Loved it. So then, you know, just as I grew up and got older, I started finding other types of mysteries, and you know, the older, and now into the adult mystery books that I like to read. So I'm going to show you some of these here. This is called Drowning Ruth. let's see. It don't really say that it's mystery. But it was. Ruth almost drowned. Her mother did get drowned. There was a mystery behind it, how it all happened. And so you don't know that until the end of the book. So it's not really like a detective mystery that you're trying to solve the mystery, but it's a mystery to it and suspense, you know. And so that's all in the same genre, as they say, and I like to call it genre. It's a G, gin, G. So anyway, that was a good book. Okay, this here is the book that I told y'all about, the lady named Reese, that, you know, she was a cook in a restaurant and people broke in and started shooting, killed everybody but her. She got shot, but it knocked her out, but she survived. And so she was running away and went to this other town. I told y'all about it a while back. And, you know, people was breaking in her house and doing things, making her think it was her doing it and making her think she was losing her mind and going crazy and all this kind of stuff. So this was a good mystery that I loved to read. Okay, now I do like other types of books, not just mysteries. So every once in a while, I'll read some of the little something. Now let me tell you this. I know I've told y'all before, I do not like romance books, love stories. If they have, oh crap, he's coming in, I gotta hurry up. If they have a little bit of suspense, mystery type, or secretive something other, they gotta find out about one another, I like that type. I like the Christie Agatha book, mystery books. I started reading those. I'm trying to speed up now because he's driving up. I gotta unlock the door. Hang on. Making a video, not through. I'll be through in a minute. So I let him know. So, I know. Hang on.
We got a mini Bernie. Hurry.
Okay, let me finish. So, the Christian romance books, what's her name? Grace Livingston Hills. I did love those because it's Christian. And she was just so good at the way she wrote those types of books, and I just love them. So I read those. I like to find, still, even though I'm an older adult, some young kid type books that are funny. So this is about, it's a little 10-year-old boy. It's called Anyway. And it's like he's writing a journal, his journal. But it's neat. He's got little drawings in there. He's got footnotes. So like you're reading something and you'll come across like one sentence will have a number in it. And then that number, you go down to the bottom at the footnote and you find that number and you read a little extra about that sentence that he wrote about up here. And it's funny. And I love it. And some of the cute little, see how he does his numbers. And he's drawn a skateboard here. And I just love cute little kid books like that sometimes. They have what is called Cozy Mysteries. This one is The Body in the Bookcase. It's a Faith Fairchild mystery. Satisfying, surprisingly. Let's see, I was trying to say. Okay, it's not one of those specific ones, but that's one of the good mysteries I like to read. Almost. What? It's not many. It ain't gonna take me long. Go on. Okay, Ann George. These are called Southern Sisters Mysteries. It's two older ladies in their 50s or 60s, something like that. They're friends. They're married, or one's married, and I think the other one is like single. But they get together and they solve mysteries. And it's funny. They do crazy stuff. Like the name of this one, Murder Gets a Life. They always doing funny stuff together. See, that's them sitting in a chair drinking something and they solve mysteries. And it's not just a mystery, it's funny too. A Haunted Bookshop Mystery. Of course, I love books, bookshops, libraries. And this is The Ghost and the Dead Deb. Eee, sorry, Deb. Okay, this is a tea shop mystery. So I love things. I have read about tea time and back in the day how it got started, and I love drinking hot teas, different flavors. So that's what this is about. And in the back it gives you like tea recipes and stuff like that. So I love it. This is called Designed to Kill. And this is like designing your home and stuff like that. One of those type things. This says, oh, these are good too. Mrs. Jeffries Sweeps the Chimney. So these are Mrs. Jeffries. She's another older lady. She is actually, it's funny, she's a housekeeper of an actual cop detective. But he's not really smart. He thinks he's solving the mysteries, but it's really her and the other household staff. She gets them together. She sends them out on assignments. I love this one. And gives them different jobs to solve the mystery. And they sneak around and they do it behind his back. Then every night when she comes home, the housekeeper, talks to him, asks him questions, gives him the little ideals of what they found out, and then he goes back to work the next day and uses that. He thinks he's solving the mystery, but they are. So fun. Lost and Fondue. Who knows what fondue is? So this is a mystery about fondue. Love that. Here's the Agatha Christie that I love. But all of these little paperback books like this is called Cozy Mysteries. Are y'all ready for this one? Best for last. Ha 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 ha. Scrapbook of Secrets. Yes, we have a scrapbook mystery set. This is first in series, Molly Cox brand. A Cumberland Creek mystery, but it's, you know, it's a scrapbook. Like the tea shop, they have a scrapbook shop mystery. So fun. They have the scrapbook shop. You go in, people buy stuff. They have a table on the back. They sit, they do crafts together, and they talk about the mystery, and they solve the mystery. So fun, love it. That's all I have for my book collection, my hobby of book reading. For the member up this week, it'll be in the iCard, in the Hobby Club video. And he's just come home and we got to go do something, so I am out of here until next time I'm done. I'm going to Toodaloo. Hope y'all enjoyed it.